Hello again, my name's Will and I work for Quell. And what I do within Quell is I teach a subject of workplace violence. Now, also within that I teach the sub-subjects of personal safety and things like lone working. Now recently on my virtual classroom training I've been getting a lot of requests of information around, well, what should they be carrying lone workers in their vehicle when they're travelling around? Because they've seen an immense amount of lists on the internet, everything from air compressors all the way to first aid kits that are large. You name it, they've actually been looking at the list. So I said to them, well, I carry 7 things in my vehicle in a little bag just in the event of an incident. So let's take a look at the 7 that I carry. What I say to people, the first thing they should really have in the car and they should check is if they've got a torch. Just a small, simple, couple of pound torch that you buy. They're ideal and they're very, shall we say, helpful. Yeah, buy a big heavy duty torch like mag lights if you want, that's entirely up to you. Some people say to me, but Will, I have a torch, it's already on my phone. What's wrong with that? And I say, well, not being funny, when you use your torch on your phone, you can actually burn your battery life. And there's nothing worse than you looking for something, battery dies, and then you want to use your phone in the event of an emergency. So invest in some form of torch. Now, the second thing I always say people that should carry is some form of first aid kit. Just a simple first aid kit. Make it up yourself if you want. Stick some headache tablets in there, stick some bandages, some plasters, some creams, whatever you think's best for you. But first aid kits are very essential because you can cut yourself, you can fall over, and nothing worse than you having a small cut on your hand and you're miles from anywhere and it won't stop, shall we say, bleeding. So trust me on this, first aid kits do actually work. What I also suggest to people sometimes is carry a map of the local area or the area that you're working with, even if it's a city map, something simple, something that you can actually hold on. Again, people say to me, but Will, technology, there's a map on my phone, but then when I say, yeah, problem is you're burning battery again. You're burning battery. When it comes to using an emergency, your battery life's gone. Trust me on this. In the event of emergency, having something that you can actually physically hold and look at and check is a lot more helpful than what you think. Now, we've all been there. If you drive a vehicle, you get a flat. And you get down and you realise you haven't got the tools or you haven't got anything that will fit, or you've got a lock nut and just by chance you can't find the lock nut. What I say is if you go and you buy something like car foam, these Tyre foam, they're fantastic. Yeah, I've seen them for £4.99 in bargain pound shops and things like that. And you purchase it, you keep it in your car. It's there. If you get a flat, you can use the foam, inflates the tyre, you can drive it for about 10-15 miles if you're lucky, but it gets you away from the area and possibly gets you to an area of safety. So I'm not being funny, this is a bit of equipment that's worth investing in. Now, what I carry, and you don't have to buy it as large as this, is a tin of some form of WD-40, just in case again. For instance, you go to change the tyre or you go to loosen something or you're getting problems with your locks or something like that. There's nothing better than having such a little bit of thing like this. You get them in small tins, obviously. Spray it on whatever it is, let it set in, then it makes it easier for when you actually have to operate it. Trust me, the times I've used WD-40 in the past when I've had a tyre or I've had problems with a lock, something like that, and it makes life a little bit easier. Now, one thing that I always recommend to buy, especially if you travel a lot, is a Hi-Vis Vest, if you haven't got one in your vehicle already. They're ideal. I have broken down in the Republic of Ireland in the dead of winter. And believe it or not, even I was nervous trying to fix the car in the middle of the night and cars were passing me at an immense amount of speed. But this, it lights me up. It also alerts people, even if the police or the guard at your corner are passing, they're able to see me and I know they'll pull over and give me assistance. This for a couple of pounds, trust me, from a local hardware shop or even pound shops I've seen them in, is worth the effort and buying to put in your car. Now, the last thing I always recommend is warm clothing, because you never know where you might break down or you might have to sit around for a while. Woolly hat, gloves, or a big coat like I have. I keep this in a small bag in my car in the event, and believe it or not, this has actually come in handy. See, when we're travelling, sometimes we think, well, we've got the car, but the car electrics break or the car breaks down. You'd be surprised how quite cold a car can get with no engine running, no heating on. So think about it. What do you think? And all the items that I've actually selected, the 7 items that I actually put on and showed you over the past few minutes, are things that you should consider. And then sit to yourself and say, well, what actually else would help me actually be safe in the vehicle or when I'm travelling? What else can I have? Some people are invested in spare mobile phones. Some people are invested in more equipment, even electronic air compressor systems. But you've got to say to yourself, what if? Hope the 7 things were helpful for you. Thanks for watching again. So I hope the 7 that you've just seen that I carry, well, might be some tips for yourself. The only thing I say a lot to lone workers, especially if you're traveling distances or you're working a lot of the time on your own, is don't become complacent. Don't do it. Yes, I know you've got your mobile phones and you might even have a tracker on your vehicle. You might even have some form of device, lone working device, and there's Ments on the market, and you'll see a video I've made on them. But what I do ask you to do is just take a couple of minutes if you do travel distances on your vehicle. Well, what do I actually have in my vehicle in the event of an incident? Thanks for watching. Please follow us on our LinkedIn page or even our YouTube channel that we've got now. Stay safe whatever you're doing. I look forward to making another video, and bye for now.